Alright, hello. Oh, pardon me. So, this is my third and final video showcasing how I work out now. So, I'm starting off with upright rows. That's another no-no exercise by today's standards, but once again, I like them. I think they're good for the side delts and a little bit of the traps, although I really don't want to develop my traps too much. I like having a neck. But yeah, so that's 100 pounds on the bar. Um, Now I'm going to close grip or narrow grip bench. That's good for working the inside of the chest, which is something I need particular development with since I have very spaced out chest muscles. And there's 120 on the bar. I do 12, so next week I'll add weight to it. Probably take it to 130 pounds. So I want to keep it within the 10 to 12 rep range. So if I'm doing 12, that tells me I need to add weight. Okay. Next up is going to be dumbbell bench press. Um, they're 55 pounds. Um, the bars weigh 5, and there's two 25 pounds, so 50 pounds, 50 pounds plus 55 pounds. Um, and I'm using vintage dumbbells. I just, I like the old school collars. I'm not a fan of spin locks. Um, Although those vintage ones tend to be a bit longer than modern loadable dumbbells, so the range of motion isn't as good, but uh, I still get a pretty. It's still decent. Um, so, do I want slightly more range of motion, or do I want the convenience of traditional collars? That's something I gotta decide. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I didn't show my warm-ups, I did that in the first video, and it's the exact same routine. Alright? Doing um, single arm dumbbell rows. Same weight as with the press. I do 12 here, so I'll be adding weight next week. And the good thing about, at least in this one instance, with it being the same weight, I can just use both dumbbells, and I don't have to do one dumbbell row, then put the dumbbell on the other side. I can just use both dumbbells. Once again, because the biggest time killer with full body is the changeovers, I try to group things by bench setup as opposed to by muscle group. Now these are inclined side delt raises. I really like these. They're great for side delts, but they're also good for rear delts, which I really need to work on. Right now, there's 12 and a half pounds there. I mean, they're slightly over 12 and a half pounds, but the dumbbell I'm using, which is a spin lock, um, is not quite 5 pounds. I don't know exactly how much it is, so I just go by bar weight. In case you're wondering, I pre-set up all the dumbbells so um, to help curb change over time. Because not only am I trying to save time, I'm also um, trying to keep the intensity up. And if you're spending like 4 or 5 minutes changing over for a setup, then you know your body cools down. Okay. Yep, next up is dumbbell shoulder press. Now in my logbook I was originally going to do 30 pounds, but I didn't have enough plates, enough of the 5-pound plates to pre-set up to 30-pound dumbbells. So I just decided to do 40s. And I only get 5 reps in before my right shoulder really starts killing me. So I do plan on buying some more 5-pound and 2.5-pound plates, just so I can keep setting things up. Setting up the dumbbells ahead of time, like I said, it saves a lot of time and streamlines the process a lot. So I really like it, and I want to continue to try to do that. Okay, next we're going with a narrow grip lat pull down. I like these. These are really good for working the inner back. I got 90 pounds on the yoke. Once again, it's more than 90 pounds, but I don't know how much actual resistance the yoke is adding, minus the gravitational pull of the handle. Oh, and the distributive effect of the pulley. So I got 3 shoulders and 2 backs in. Now my third back exercise. Obviously, I do not have a Nautilus pullover. The stiff-armed lat pull down is the closest thing to a Nautilus pullover you can get. And this is another exercise that I find is really good for the rear delts. In fact, I feel more in my rear delts than what I do in my lats. Once again, even though I lighten the weight to increase the rep range, it's still a high intensity. So always got to keep the intensity high. You never want to get too easy with it. Rope tricep extensions. Now I will say day 3 workouts I tend to be the most varied. Day 1, day 2, they are what they are. It's pretty much the exact same exercises done each time. Day 3, I tend to experiment more. There's a lot more substitution, and this is one of the revolving exercises that I do. Now I'm doing easy cable curls with what York calls the arm bomber. I've seen other companies call them the arm blaster. It just basically turns your curls into standing preacher curls. And as I said in a previous video, because I have a chest, setting it up properly is difficult, because if I set it too high, it's painful, but if I set it too low, it doesn't really support my arms that much. So now we are going on to legs. I'm doing the inside and outside thigh. On this one, I get a lot more. I can go really a lot heavier on the inside thigh than the outside thigh, which is interesting because when I used to go to the gym and used the machines where you sit down, commonly called good girl, bad girl, I was always able to go way heavier on the outside of the thigh. Or I guess what's called the bad girl. But yeah. I got 20 pounds on the yoke. I think I do 15 reps, so definitely have to bump that up. Whereas when I get to outside thigh, I take in can only do 2.5 pounds on the yoke. But yeah, so for legs, I basically try to work all the way around. So day one, squats and calf raises for the quads and the calves. Day two is leg extension and leg curls. Once again, quads again, front quads and hamstrings. And this works the outside quad, inside quad, and a bit of the glutes. So, but yeah, this plus, my 15 minutes of cardio on the elliptical is pretty much what I do now. I've had great results. And even though my right shoulder might twinge in the moment, it's not as bad as it used to be, and it heals up pretty quickly. So I'm not walking around with constant shoulder pain anymore, which is something I was doing. Yeah, your body changes. Your body changes, and you just have to be prepared for it, and you have to adjust for it. So now I'm doing the outside. And one of the things I do now is I used to do it so the cable passed in front of my um, stable leg. But now I do it where the cable is behind it. And I actually find that works a lot better. So if you do these, definitely try running the cable behind your leg. I took off the one cuff because honestly taking the cuff off was easier than trying to unhook it. And now I'm getting ready to do the final one. Once again, I'm not doing any ab work in this session. I still don't think I've lost enough weight to do 3 full ab days, because I want to try and get the stomach flatter, and by working abs 3 days a week, I think it would develop the muscle underneath and push the fat out more. But eventually I will add a third exercise, so I get 3 total. So yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all 3 days. And I do day 1, day 2, day 3, because sometimes I change the exact days. Sometimes I do Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Some days I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But yeah, so that's it. Bye.